Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Joe Kelly with Riveron, and today we're going to be discussing Manual Modernized, a journey from Excel to BlackLine, and it's in regards to our customer, BlackHawk Network, and the success story and how this all came about. So with that, I'm joined here with Alex Hilsbeck. Alex is a part of our BlackLine practice as well as one of our delivery leads. And in today's discussion, we're going to be talking an in-depth overview around Riveron and the BlackLine partnership, about BlackHawk networks, the system selection, BlackHawk's goals, as well as the implementation challenges and success, and then what's this leading to down the road and what's next for all of us. So without further ado, a little high-level overview about Riveron and BlackLine is Riveron's been a valued partner of BlackLine for about 5+ years. We've done over 100+ finance transformational projects with 100% success rate. As well, we have over about 600+ advisory experts. Like Alex on the call here, you'll find a lot of the folks that are involved within our BlackLine practice here at Riveron come with a CPA, finance type background. They might have sat in an interim CFO or corporate controller in a past previous job history, as well as really and why I say that is that we're really focused on helping PE-backed high-growth companies, the office of the CFO, focusing on end-to-end solutions that are going to optimize and scale, and BlackLine being one of those great choices. And we have with those 600+ advisory experts, we have the certified implementation professionals that are really going to help you down the optimization journey of BlackLine. So with that, I will hand this over to Alex.
All right, thanks, Joe. Just a quick overview. So BlackHawk Network, they operate in the prepaid cards, so gift cards, and payments industry. So they mainly sell branded physical, but also digital gift cards, phone cards, prepaid debit cards, and other corporate incentive card programs. They have 3,200 employees operating in almost 30 different countries worldwide. They have sell their products in over 400,000 different storefronts, and they partner with over 37,000 different corporate and government entities. And with that, they also generate 775 million cards annually. And so looking at the BlackLine products that BlackHawk landed on, so they purchased 200 user licenses where they have the 2 sandbox and production instances of BlackLine. They will be bringing in or have been bringing in over 5,000 different unique accounts all to be reconciled. And at the time, so they have purchased the reconciliations and task management licensing from BlackLine. And just next, we'll just take a quick look on why BlackHawk chose BlackLine. And so this has been, a journey that's been almost 10 years in the making. One of accounting's management has been a BlackLine proponent and has been working with senior management to get the BlackLine implementation approved. And finally, in 2020, that came to fruition, as it did with many of BlackLine's newest customers. The main reason that brought BlackHawk to choose BlackLine in the system selection was their best-in-class account reconciliation functionality. And with this functionality was the flexibility, the automation capabilities, in addition, the expansive control environment that BlackLine would bring in for BlackHawk. And then next, we will review some of BlackHawk's goals that they had coming into why they were choosing BlackLine. Where BlackHawk has thousands of different reconciliations, this auto certification capability is already bringing in significant time savings. In addition to the Excel to BlackLine process, a big enhancement has been in the maintenance part, where users were having to create the Excel reconciliations month over month. In addition, they also manage their reconciliation checklist in Excel as well. And so bringing this in all online immediately brought in instant time savings. In addition to is also BlackLine bringing standardization across the globe in their reconciliation process, and as well their review and other different workflows where they have finance operations in 10 different countries across the globe in 10 different time zones, and this allows the standardization for how reconciliations are created, reviewed, and all the different requirements. The last main goal was the workflow. So it's taken it from Excel and now onto the cloud network. And so this, instantly electrifies all their documentation for approval workflows, and all. In addition, very easily bringing an audit trail to the entire process, making this a one-stop shop for auditors review and for all the different users. So the first main challenge was the global rollout of the implementation. So as I mentioned, BlackHawk not only operates in almost 30 different countries, but they also have finance teams located in 10 different countries in North America, South America, Asia Pacific, and EMEA. So this is, coordinating the different the teams, the training for all the different users, and so this brings in a whole other challenge in the implementation process. We're implementing this to users all across the globe. In addition to is competing priorities with IT, where IT is the main other group outside of the finance and accounting organization and all different corporations. IT is the most important cross-departmental group that you need to plan with, and this was a good example of that, where just as all finance and accounting organizations, IT also has their many different projects, and so it's important to look ahead and getting in contact with your IT departments and making sure that everyone's deadlines and expected completion dates all align with everyone's competing different priorities. And the last main point is the user acceptance. So BlackHawk has over 150 users that were brought in at the time of implementation, and as I mentioned before, they're in 10 different countries. And so the approach to change management is key into this implementation success, and making sure you do have that user acceptance. The user acceptance is what's going to drive the success of BlackLine and help also drive those efficiencies that all these different companies are aiming to achieve. And so with that, with the core team, the core implementation team on BlackHawk side, we made sure to have effective communications with the entire user group. We had we planned what we call in person, but these days it's these virtual trainings that were being pre-recorded, and we were able to provide live user training for almost the entire user population. So we had over 150 users initially set up, all utilizing the account reconciliations module. We ended up bringing in over 6,000 unique accounts into the production environment, recreated over 88 different account groups where we are grouping over 2,500 of these individual accounts into groups. And in the organizational structure, there were almost 100 different unique business units or company codes that were brought in. And we have also configured almost 90 different reconciliation and task teams. And so we also provided 4 live in-person user trainings for the account reconciliation a module, in addition to 3 different administrator trainings. So these were also a challenge. We be able to train not only the Asia Pacific and the EMEA groups. We had to have various different trainings to be able to cover these all the different time zones. And some items that are still in progress are some current additional interface automation, expanding the subledger extracts. Initially we just brought in the AP and the AR subledgers, but now we're expanding those to some various other subledgers. In addition, they're also finalizing, designing their ERP drill down that will be linked to all their different reconciliations, providing users that one-click stop to be able to look at account detail while they're reconciling. In addition, we're also in the process of completing bringing in all their closing checklist into the task management module. And next, we'll go into reviewing some success stories. And so here, we're going to highlight a few. So as we discussed, the entity structure. So we brought in 3 different unique second level or regional levels, where under these 3 different regional levels is where the breaks out the almost 100 different unique business units. And also during the design part of the implementation, it was determined that some custom frequencies were needed to be created, where to be able to fit BlackHawk's immediate business needs. The main driving item here was their non-key accounts that are, at the time of implementation, are prepared quarterly, but this is not in a predetermined month period. It's just these reconciliations were performed just at some time during that quarter. And so to be able to standardize that, we had to create some unique custom frequencies here, where, as you can see, it's these quarterly +1, +2, or +3, where it spread out these quarterly reconciliations into the first month of each quarter, the second month of each quarter, or the third month of each quarter. So this would allow users to spread out all their non-key reconciliations throughout the quarter. So again, this just highlights BlackLine's ability to create custom solutions for various different business requirements. After the first month, which the first month of reconciliation close was just completed within this past week, and immediately management received positive feedback, especially from the approver and management group. Some of the items that were noted were, it was a single source for reconciliation review, and being able to see the supporting documentation all on one screen. Whereas before, they're looking at in an Excel document where they might have had some embedded documents or notes to some other documents that were saved in a specific folder. And so this puts, for especially management and the approvers, it puts everything in one place. And additionally, it brought in management noted better oversight, being able to view, current status of, where all of their approver assignments are, specifically with, the pre-built dashboarding and the custom dashboarding that management's been able to develop, but also the custom reporting that we put into place. Another note was the action plan. So approvers were very happy they were able to create the action plans and assigning tasks for preparers to follow up within the next month, whether to book a journal entry or what have you. So some quick wins that were identified here were, it was determined in the first month, and with the implementation of BlackLine, there were numerous reconciliations that were never assigned to any preparers or reviewers. So this brought into light, where they had to assign, reconciliations and accounts for, the first time in a long time. So this gives also, management a, complete visibility into all their account balances on their balance sheet. Additionally, just in the first month, it identified various journal entries that were booked in error in previous months. And so they've been able to, just in the first month, find all these, journal entries booked in error and get them created or get them corrected. And with that, so, it immediately, helps bring in increased accuracy, especially with the timestamps. It allows for reviewers and approvers to view the timeliness and completion of all the different tasks for the reconciliation. In addition, another item that was a big one to note was the ease of use for the account groups functionality. So many users on the preparer and the approver side both noted the ease of use for this functionality. And this leads us into another one was the success in bringing visibility. So this brought in better visibility for all process owners, all the way from the preparer up to senior management, providing real-time status reports with BlackLine's dashboarding capabilities. And also, the main item was also for management to be able to, view the reconciliation status of various metrics into the reconciliations globally. Whereas before it was a lot more time-consuming to be able to get the same level of detailed information. And with that, during the implementation, we developed 7 different custom reports that were very specific into, aged items and various other reports. All right. And so that just highlighted, as we discussed, this was just the first month of close, so there is, still much more to be seen, but so much has already been brought to light just in the first month. So BlackHawk is very excited to continue, month over month, and seeing what other improvements BlackLine is going to bring to their finance organization. All right, so as I mentioned, the task management module is in process of being tested in the sandbox environment. Initially, this was going to be done in parallel with the accounts reconciliation implementation. But during the implementation, management wanted to take a step back, mainly because they really wanted to take a very thorough, more timely look into their current close task list. just like the reconciliations, their closed task lists were divided up, into their different global regions. As I mentioned before, their finance organization has teams in 10 different countries, so they had almost 10 different checklists where they are with various levels of detail of the task. Where some, like the corporate team and some of these U.S. teams had very detailed closed checklists, where other regions were a little bit more generic. So now they're taking the time into really standardizing all their tasks across all these different regions. And so when they do the implementation, it's done right. Their management's immediate feedback is they're very excited what this is going to bring. So we're very excited to see as well where the leap that it's going to take, where BlackHawk was doing their closed checklist before in Excel, and now bringing it streamlined and standardized across all global regions. And some other quick ones that we mentioned that are in process to be completed are bringing in all the different subledger system balances, and as well are automating some reconciling item imports into BlackLine. And some other modules that are currently in review by BlackHawk. So one is the Intercompany Hub. A demo has already been provided to the intercompany team leads and to management. They're very excited what they see. So the intercompany unreconciled balance is BlackHawk's next big, what they call pain point that they're trying to target next. So more to be seen there. Some other hubs or some other modules that are currently in the review are the journals creation and the journals workflow. And so they're potentially going to be taking a demo into that. Additionally, is also the expanding into potentially the variance analysis module. So that concludes just kind of our quick review of the BlackHawk implementations. Noting all the quick wins that BlackHawk has already seen in the first month. So BlackHawk and we are very excited to see what all is going to be coming next. And so now I'll hand it back over to Joe Kelly to close us out.
No, thank you, Alex, and thank you for diving into that detail. It was extremely helpful, and I just appreciate BlackLine giving us the opportunity to speak. I hope everyone is enjoying Beyond the Black, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Alex or myself. Our contact information is listed here. Enjoy the rest of your day, and look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you all for attending the second day of Beyond the Black. Remember, all sessions are available on demand until the middle of next month, so don't worry if you missed any today. We'll return tomorrow with a talk from futurist and Professor Amy Webb, who will challenge us to take part in defining our futures, else risk falling victim to it. Don't worry, it will be hopeful and inspire us all to action.
After Amy Webb's presentation, thought leaders from our strategic alliance partners will take the stage for a panel hosted by Soledad O'Brien. Have a good evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the final day of Beyond the Black 2021.